Well, Louisiana Tech finally won their sixth game of the season, and they have a small chance to get in a bowl again as they have the last 3 years. Anyway, we've got Web Watch here. To see the new map of planned projects, go to FayettevilleAR.gov GIS Planning Projects. For all of the other interactive maps, check out bit.ly FAGIS. This is very important. It's something that a lot of people will be interested in, especially if they hear something new is about to happen in their neighborhood. Now, this is something to help educators train their new students in nature. This pair of turtles, box turtles, they're actually not turtles at all, according to the name. John Rule, if he had been able to come today, would have told us that they were terrapins. That means they're land turtles, and they do go to water, and but they mostly dig underground to lay their eggs. And I assume that this particular one on the bottom, the female, laid her eggs soon after this in our yard or in the edge of World Peace Wetland Prairie. This was back in 2007, and I don't believe I ever got these photos on public access television back then. And I realized today, in looking back over old files, that these would be well worth showing and sharing, and I hope you see that these creatures are not different from any other species in their means of procreating. And the male there is about the same size, maybe bigger, but they're both probably, long-time adults. And I made about 3 hours of photos of these two just outside my bathroom door. And it kept me busy for a while, and Lauren, of course, was sharing the experience. And we certainly learned a lot about how long it takes them to get things done and how difficult it may be. But we still have new ones showing up every year on our property, and we've probably seen these same ones this year. It's just you can't recognize them after quite a few years. We never put names on them. We never write on them like some people do to mark them, because that's, maybe not a healthy thing for them. But here you go. This guy was getting frustrated, and she had closed up shop there. So he's trying to turn her around. And this was a difficult thing for him. And I think he certainly had succeeded. And if he didn't, he kept trying after this. But it's just something most people never get to see. And we were very privileged to have seen this. And lucky that the camera held up. Back then, I think I had only one battery and so forth. Now, here's some more about, this is old GIS, old city maps. And this is my neighborhood, which is totally changed now. Most of the woods there are gone. Part of the prairie's gone. The whole place has been changed somewhat radically. But until next time, do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and learn more about nature. See ya. Hey, John Rule.
Here it is.
How was your Thanksgiving? What's been going on with you?
Oh, it was fun. It was just fun.
Well,
Mostly took it pretty easy and so forth, and went to my daughters.
Yeah.
And they had gotten the whole dinner from Whole Foods.
Wow.
And that's that's where we dined. It was delicious.
Well, they just got it ready baked, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. All they had to do was warm some of it up.
Well, you know, I believe in doing that, unless you get invited to somebody's house
Well,
and they've cooked one. But
I don't think I could afford it.
no telling what it costs to do that from Whole Foods or some of those
Right.
places. Yeah, but I'm sure it's good.
It was good.
Yeah, we had a small family. You know, I just have my daughter and her mother and Lauren, and that's all my relatives in Fayetteville, Arkansas. So
Right.
when we get together, it was very nice. But I really wonder what all's going on. One of the things that's going on with us at the Senior Center,
Right.
they fired the wonderful director we had for years.
Is that
5
right?
years. Kayla. She was always stopping to talk to you. You know.
Yes, I
And
didn't know that.
she was a go-getter, raised a lot of funds for the senior center and that sort of thing. So Tuesday night, on the what'll it be, the third day of December, that organization that fired her with not what didn't seem to be a good excuse, they will be at the city council without her talking to the mayor and the city council.
I see.
And what's going to happen, I think there will be quite a few people that want to speak against that organization because she was fired. At least that's what I hear with different people there who've been there over the years and seen directors come and go, and all of us getting older in the process. But that's going to be a little bit of a stir. Keep city council discussing it.
Right,
When Kayla would go in, like she did the last 5 years, she'd go in there and they'd automatically give her what she asked for and thank her for doing her work, and everybody was happy with her.
I always thought you did well.
Oh, she did. There was one little episode there at the end that they blamed her for something that really could have been discussed out. It didn't sound like it was anything that was unreasonable. And but you probably hear more about that at that meeting. So, you know, even the old folks get into dizzy sometimes.
Yeah, it's hard.
And when you've got an out of town, see, that organization's over in Harrison and Springdale, and they just take in these groups. Well, they're not giving money to the senior center, it seems. The senior center seems to be having to raise its own money anyway. But Springdale just recently dropped their connection with that organization. And so they're going along without a, what do you call it, a group that oversees or something.
I see.
Because the senior center has had good leadership and hasn't needed that. And it's in a Fayetteville-owned, beautiful building, very expensive building.
Yeah, it is.
And the workers from the
like
city go
everything
out there and do things that are needed about working on the building and taking care of the water and different systems when need be. So it's just within reach to and reasonable that we could drop
Well, this
back.
is all news to me. I'm glad you clued
Yeah,
me in.
you haven't been there this week,
Been out
and
already.
it's been over a week this has been going on, I guess. At this point, it'll be well more. So the first Tuesday in coming up, maybe people will be seeing that before then, will be the night at City Council when that's discussed. It could be tabled or something, rather than saying, yes, you can do it again another year, and we're happy with it. Because I think many members of the City Council will understand the problem, and we'll see what happens. I don't know what else going on besides that little
I don't really
uprising.
haven't really been out too much other than to a birthday celebration and the Thanksgiving. I remember a real Thanksgiving that depended on my father and I were together hunting down at Stuttgart, and we were right outside of Tyndall's Reservoir, I think, and a big flight of Canada geese came up, and they were probably 100 yards high when Dad pounded away at them, and one came down, and it was one buckshot hit that unfortunate goose, and that was our Thanksgiving. That was about
That was your Thanksgiving
yeah, that
bird.
was 1940s before. But that was a very joyous thing for us, and unlucky for the goose.
Well, you know what? There are a lot more geese were there than hungry people at that moment. So you were the lucky hungry people.
Well, there's a goose problem now with all the snow geese filling all the fields
actually,
down there.
More of them than they need, they say.
Yeah, they succeeded too well.
Well, thanks for being here, and I'm glad. Well, you just turned. Your birthday was what day?
The December 12th.
It's December 12th,
Right.
and so you're going to be how old?
87, I think, by the calendar. I was born in 1930. Yeah.